Imagine sailing across the endless ocean, where every wave might be hiding a chilling secret. Despite how vast and modern our world may seem, the deep blue still holds mysteries that could astonish even the most experienced sailors. Join us as we explore 15 of the most chilling discoveries ever made in the middle of the ocean. Number 15. Terrifying Turtle Graveyard. Imagine stumbling upon a hidden treasure deep within an ocean cave, a graveyard filled with the ancient remains of turtles. Josh Vagara, a 34-year-old adventurer and photographer from the Philippines, had this extraordinary experience while exploring Caden Island in Malaysia. The breathtaking scene he encountered unveiled the skeletons of lost and trapped turtles strewn across the cave floor beneath the Indian Ocean. As Josh delved deeper into the cave on March 26, 2019, he uncovered a cave known as the Turtle Tomb. Turtles in their quest for air venture into the cave but tragically become disoriented and meet their end, never to resurface. The darkness of the caverns revealed more turtle remains, painting a touching picture of these majestic creatures meeting their demise in the ocean depths. Interestingly, this underwater cemetery is not a recent discovery. In the 1980s, Captain Jacques Cousteau, a legendary ocean explorer, first stumbled upon this captivating resting place for turtles. While he believed the turtles chose the cave for a peaceful exit, locals from Caden Island have a different perspective. They suggest that the turtles, confused and disoriented, met their fate due to suffocation. The cave, plunging to a depth of 1,968 feet, also holds the skeletal remains of a dolphin, which likely shared a similar tragic fate. Number 14. Huge Fish of the Deep. Legends about huge sea monsters might have come from seeing the oarfish, a long silver fish living deep in the ocean, also known as the king of herrings. This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. This mysterious creature is the longest bony fish and the longest pelagic fish ever found, growing up to 56 feet. With its sleek, bluish-sharp fin running the length of its body, the oarfish moves vertically like a snake, using its long ribbon-like body and paddle-shaped pelvic fins. It usually stays between 650 to 3,300 feet below the surface, living in the Earth's twilight mesopelagic zone, conserving energy by moving very little. Despite its fearsome reputation in folklore, the oarfish is harmless, feeding on tiny plankton with its toothless jaws and weak muscles. Sometimes injured or dying oarfish drift to shallower waters, sparking excitement as rare glimpses of an elusive ocean realm. In Japanese tradition, these stranded fish were thought to be messengers from the sea gods, with their beaching seen as signs of upcoming earthquakes. This fascination leads to questions about whether ancient tales of epic battles against enormous sea monsters were inspired by encounters with these fascinating fish, with each retelling becoming more exaggerated over time. Number 13. The Incredible Underwater Bloop. In 1996, the United States National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration detected an incredibly powerful underwater sound. It was so remarkable that it earned the name the Bloop. This mysterious sound traveled an astonishing distance of 1,864 miles, and was picked up by sensors called hydrophones strategically placed 3,727 miles apart. Scientists were fascinated by the Bloop because it was unlike any sound they had heard before underwater. Initially, researchers who were monitoring underwater volcanoes in the southern Pacific noticed the Bloop. Its unique characteristics and sheer volume caught their attention. They used underwater microphones spaced over 3,219 kilometers apart to capture the sound. Over the years, scientists from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's Pacific Marine Environmental Laboratory worked tirelessly to uncover the source of this mysterious sound as part of their mission to study underwater volcanic activity and earthquakes. After deploying hydrophones closer to the Antarctic region, researchers finally unveiled the source of the Bloop in 2005. They determined that it was the sound of an icequake, a seismic event caused by the cracking and fracturing of icebergs as they break away from Antarctic glaciers. With global warming on the rise, these icequakes are becoming more frequent, contributing to the increased frequency of glaciers breaking away, splitting, and melting into the ocean. Number 12. India's Lost City. The underwater city of Dvarka, a renowned site in Indian marine archaeology, is where ancient stories blend with real-life discoveries. According to legend, Lord Krishna established Dvarka on the western coast of Gujarat. This place is famous for its underwater ruins and is often associated with ancient alien theories because of the descriptions of advanced technology in the Mahabharata, an epic poem. In this epic, there's a battle where a flying machine attacks Dvarka. Some ancient alien theories suggest it might have been a spacecraft from orbit using powerful energy weapons that caused immense destruction. In response, Lord Krishna fought back with formidable weapons. The Mahabharata describes Dvarka as a city adorned with crystal palaces, silver buildings, emerald decorations, and a sophisticated infrastructure. While this is part of Indian mythology, marine archaeology has uncovered evidence of an ancient city submerged 70 feet below the sea, dating back to 9,000 years. Researchers have found underwater sandstone walls, streets, seaports, and protective stone walls. These discoveries align with the Mahabharata depiction of Dvarka, adding a touch of reality to the ancient tales and fascinating insights into our past. Number 11. The floating Mary Celeste. Have you ever stumbled upon an old, deserted place and felt a shiver run down your spine, sensing there's a hidden story behind it? Well, on December 4, 1872, sailors had that exact experience when they found the American merchant ship the Mary Celeste floating mysteriously in the Atlantic Ocean empty. There were no crew members in sight, as if they had vanished into thin air, leaving behind a ship untouched by any struggle, with personal items and important documents left undisturbed. Another ship, the Dei Grazia, stumbled upon the Mary Celeste, witnessing its eerie dance on the waves. Its crew felt a sense of unease as they discovered that the ship's lifeboat was missing. Despite some minor water damage, the Mary Celeste seemed to be in good shape, not indicating any reason for abandonment. So what could have scared off the crew? People have speculated endlessly, but among the many theories, one stands out: the ship's cargo. The Mary Celeste was carrying industrial alcohol, raising concerns that the crew might have feared an explosion caused by alcohol fumes. Although there's no record of such alcohol spontaneously combusting, the possibility lingers. Now it's time for today's topic. A viral post circulating on Reddit claims a solo kayaker named Liam Foster captured this chilling scene somewhere off the coast of Alaska. According to the story, he was paddling through fog when dozens of strange, pale-headed creatures suddenly surfaced around his boat, all staring and opening their mouths in unison. The footage spread rapidly, with users calling it proof of unknown ocean species. However, marine experts from the NOAA pointed out inconsistencies in lighting, scale, and behavior, suggesting digital manipulation or AI generation. No verified location data or raw footage has ever been released. The mystery remains unsolved online, but without evidence, many believe it's nothing more than an elaborate hoax. So what do you think? Real encounter or just another internet illusion? Number 10. Cocaine in the sea. Two fishermen from South Carolina were out fishing for mahi-mahi when they stumbled upon something unexpected. Instead of finding prized fish, their nets pulled up over $1 million worth of cocaine floating amidst the debris. Imagine their surprise. They found dozens of bricks of illegal drugs. Each brick was worth thousands on the street, making the fishermen calculate wildly. They realized that these bricks potentially equaled millions in cartel contraband right there in the water beside them. They were faced with a tough decision. Should they report it, dump it discreetly to avoid trouble, or even try to sell it themselves? The morality of the situation weighed heavily on their minds. While the temptation of such wealth was understandable, they ultimately chose to do the right thing. They knew that the risks and criminal consequences of keeping the drugs outweighed any fleeting riches they might gain. Once they returned to shore, they immediately headed to the nearest Coast Guard station to report the floating narcotics and transfer custody. Despite only receiving thanks in return, they could claim compensation with a clear conscience. They had resisted the temptation of unlawful gain at sea, proving their integrity in the face of temptation. Number 9. The frozen finger of death. Imagine using a remotely operated vehicle to examine the icy waters of the polar region. Suddenly, you behold a slender icy formation descending from the icy surface above, extending towards the seabed. This intriguing sight is none other than the ice finger, often called the finger of death due to its chilling and lethal impact on marine creatures. The ice finger is essentially a tube of supercooled seawater, a saltwater solution even saltier than the surrounding sea. It typically forms in polar regions, especially where sea ice converges with the frigid ocean. As sea ice forms, it expels salt, creating highly concentrated pockets of salt water beneath it. This supercooled seawater begins its descent, enveloped by a hollow ice tube as it moves downward. As the seawater solution descends, it freezes everything in its path, including unsuspecting marine life on the seabed. The surrounding water is supercooled, causing rapid ice formation upon contact. Any creature touched by the icy grasp of the seawater solution risks being frozen solid, hence its threatening name, the finger of death. Fortunately for us humans, this strange phenomenon poses little to no threat and serves merely as a captivating spectacle of nature's wonders. Number 8. Fantastic message in a bottle. Discovering a message in a bottle might sound like something from a romantic movie, but for a retired French fisherman named Hubert Ariou, it was a real-life adventure. On August 2021, while strolling along a beach in Les Guillen-sur-Mer, France, a 71-year-old Hubert stumbled upon a message in a bottle. What made this discovery even more extraordinary was that the message had been tossed into the sea way back in 1997 by an American elementary school student named Ben Lyons. At first glance, the bottle looked like any other piece of debris washed ashore, partially buried in the sand. Curious, Hubert picked it up and noticed the aged paper inside, still surprisingly intact after years at sea. As he carefully opened it, he realized he was holding a small piece of someone's childhood from decades ago. The handwriting, slightly faded but still readable, carried a sense of innocence and curiosity. Hubert paused for a moment, imagining the journey the bottle must have taken across oceans and currents. The idea that it had survived storms, tides, and time itself made the discovery feel almost unreal. In that quiet moment on the beach, it felt like the past had reached out and found him. Ben, along with his classmates in Massachusetts, had put messages in bottles as part of a science project about ocean currents. In his letter, Ben asked whoever found it to answer some questions and send it back. Most of the bottles probably got lost at sea, but against all odds, Hubert found one of them. Hubert, remembering Ben's request, filled out the questionnaire and sent the letter back to Ben's school in Sandwich, Massachusetts. Although there was some confusion at the school at first, they eventually tracked down Ben, who was now an adult. Ben was amazed and overjoyed to receive a response, as a simple request for a school project brought two people from different continents together decades later through a chance discovery. Number 7. The Baltic Sea Anomaly. The Baltic Sea Anomaly is a captivating discovery that was first spotted on the ocean floor of the northern Baltic Sea by a team of Swedish divers known as the Ocean X team back in June 2011. They stumbled upon it while searching for treasure. Their sonar picked up something unusual with features that looked like they could be natural but were different from what they expected. Some people even thought it might be a sunken, unidentified flying object. When the team first reviewed the sonar images, they were immediately struck by the object's almost symmetrical shape resting on the seabed. As they prepared for a closer dive, anticipation grew among the crew, with many unsure of what they were about to encounter. Upon descending, divers reported seeing a formation that appeared strangely structured, with flat surfaces and sharp edges unlike typical rock formations. Some even described what looked like a long trail or skid mark behind it, as if the object had moved before coming to rest. The deeper they explored, the more questions arose, especially as certain equipment reportedly malfunctioned near the site. These unexpected technical issues only fueled further speculation about the anomaly's true nature. The combination of unusual visuals and unexplained disturbances made the discovery feel far more mysterious than a simple geological formation. This mysterious formation was about 21 feet. Even though everyone got excited at first, most experts and scientists now think it's probably just a natural part of the Earth. They took some rocks from the site and had them checked out at Stockholm University. The results showed that the rocks were mainly made up of granite, gneiss, and sandstones, with a piece of basaltic rock which comes from volcanoes and isn't uncommon in places like this. It seems like the rocks and the anomaly formed because of the ice ages and the changes in the Earth's surface after that. They might have been carried there by glaciers. More tests on the rock's chemical makeup showed that they're similar to the nodules you often find on the seabed. Even though we have some answers, it's still a fascinating find. Number 6. Ghost Fleet of Chuck Lagoon. Have you ever heard of a special underwater resting place filled with life? Let's explore Chuck Lagoon. In its prime, this spot was a prized location for the Imperial Japanese Navy during World War II. It was seen as a nearly impenetrable naval base in the Pacific. But as fate would have it, in February 1944, everything changed with Operation Hailstone. This massive Allied air and naval attack turned the once formidable stronghold into a sunken graveyard for countless Japanese ships and planes. The assault was swift and overwhelming, catching many vessels anchored and unprepared for the scale of the attack. Explosions lit up the sky as ships were struck, sending debris and oil spilling into the surrounding waters. Within hours, the lagoon transformed from a strategic stronghold into a chaotic battlefield beneath the waves. As the smoke cleared, dozens of ships and aircraft sank to the ocean floor, preserving a frozen moment of history. Over time, these wrecks settled into the seabed, remaining largely undisturbed for decades. Divers who first explored the lagoon described eerie scenes of cargo holds still filled with equipment, vehicles, and personal belongings. The site became a haunting underwater museum, where the remnants of war lay preserved in silence. Fast forward to today, and Chuck Lagoon is no ordinary ship graveyard. Instead of silence, it's bursting with life. The wrecks that once told tales of a violent past have become bustling artificial reefs. These once mighty war machines now host colorful corals and schools of fish and provide shelter for many underwater creatures. It's a stunning example of how nature can reclaim and rejuvenate. divers from all over the world are drawn not only to see the remnants of wartime relics, but also to marvel at the vibrant underwater world that has sprung up around them. It's a beautiful blend of history and nature, making Chuck Lagoon a diver's paradise. Number 5. Gigantic set of antlers. In 2021, while fishing for trout in the middle of the ocean, two Northern Irish fishermen, Raymond Marriott and his assistant Charlie Coyle, stumbled upon a remarkable find. Instead of fish, they pulled up an enormous set of antlers still attached to a skull, estimated to be more than 2,500 years old. These massive antlers belong to an extinct species known as the Irish elk. Despite its misleading name as it was a type of giant deer, not an elk, the Irish elk boasted enormous antlers spanning up to 12 feet. At first, the fishermen struggled to lift the heavy object, thinking it might be a tangled mass of debris or driftwood caught in their lines. As it slowly emerged from the dark water, the shape became clearer, revealing something far more unusual. The sheer size of the antlers immediately caught their attention, stretching outward in a way that seemed almost unreal. For a moment, they simply stared, trying to comprehend what they were looking at. The skull, still intact, gave the find an eerie presence, as if the creature had only recently disappeared beneath the surface. Both men realized they were holding a piece of ancient history that had remained hidden for thousands of years. The calm surface of the lake suddenly felt very different, knowing what had been resting beneath it all along. Although the name suggests they were exclusive to Ireland, Irish elks roamed much of Europe and Asia before their extinction around 5,900 before Christ. Marriott and Coyle's discovery came from Loch Ness, a large freshwater lake in Northern Ireland, where elk antlers and bones have been previously uncovered. The lake's cool, oxygen-deprived bottom mud aids in preserving fossils, but few specimens rival the size and condition of these antlers still attached to the skull. Paleontologists highly value such intact samples, as they provide insights into the anatomy and environment of Irish elks before their extinction. Changes in climate and vegetation likely contributed to their decline. The impressive antlers highlight the remarkable size of male Irish elks in their prime. Number 4. Powerful Mark I live grenade. While magnet fishing can be fun and rewarding, it can also uncover things that are best left untouched. Two men from Britain learned this lesson when they found something unexpected while exploring a canal with their magnets deep in the water. After over a century of lying dormant, they discovered a relic from World War I, a hand grenade. Magnet fishing, which has become increasingly popular, involves using powerful magnets to search for lost items in bodies of water like canals. These waterways are often filled with decades' worth of discarded objects, from tools to bicycles, hidden beneath layers of mud. As their magnet latched onto the object, the tension in the rope immediately felt different from anything they had pulled up before. At first, they assumed it was just another heavy piece of scrap metal buried beneath the sediment. Slowly, they began to haul it up, the water dripping off as the shape started to become visible. The moment it broke the surface, both men froze as they realized it wasn't an ordinary find. The object's distinct shape and rusted casing hinted at something far more dangerous than they had anticipated. For a brief moment, they debated what to do, fully aware that even the slightest mishandling could have serious consequences. The atmosphere quickly shifted from excitement to caution as they carefully set it down at a safe distance. What started as a casual hobby turned into a tense situation that neither of them had prepared for. As the two men were magnet fishing, they felt a strong pull on their magnet, indicating that they had hooked onto something significant. What they pulled up was a heavy, rusted sphere about the size of a fist, a Mark I grenade from World War I. Realizing the danger it posed, they quickly alerted the authorities. Experts arrived to safely remove the grenade, preventing a potential disaster for nearby residents. Investigations revealed that the grenade likely ended up in the canal after being disposed of by munitions factories during the war. There could be more undetonated relics lying in canal beds around the world, posing unexpected dangers for hobbyists. Number 3. Ancient sunken city of Thonis-Heracleion. In ancient Egypt, there was a city named Thonis-Heracleion. It was bustling with travelers from the Mediterranean Sea between the 8th and 14th centuries before the Common Era. Egyptians called it Thonis while Greeks knew it as Heracleion. This city was important for trade and culture, but then something crazy happened. Thonis-Heracleion sank underwater, taking with it amazing stuff like a big statue of the god Hapi and a cool pharaoh sculpture. It's about 20 miles northeast of Alexandria, chilling in the Gulf of Abu Qir. For centuries, the city was thought to be nothing more than a legend mentioned in ancient texts and stories passed down through generations. Many historians debated whether it had ever truly existed or if it was simply a myth exaggerated over time. The mystery deepened as no physical evidence could be found on land, leaving its fate unresolved for thousands of years. That all changed when underwater archaeologists began scanning the seabed and stumbled upon massive stone blocks buried beneath layers of sediment. As Diverse descended, they uncovered entire structures preserved in eerie silence, as if frozen in time. The layout of the ruins revealed streets, temples, and harbors that once thrived with activity and trade. Each discovery painted a clearer picture of a city that had not vanished, but had simply been hidden beneath the sea. Legends say the city's origins go way back to the 12th century before Christ, as written by ancient Greek historians. Its peak was around the 2nd century before Christ, but then disaster struck. A massive flood made the ground beneath it turn into goo and the buildings just fell into the sea. But recently, archaeologists found some mind-blowing stuff down there, like giant pieces of a statue believed to be of the god Hapi and tons of other treasures, ancient coins, jewelry, temples, and even fancy boats. These discoveries are bringing Thonis-Heracleion back to life and giving us a fresh look at ancient Egypt's past. Number 2. The mysterious underwater pyramid. Deep beneath the ocean near the Azores of Portugal, an astounding discovery captivated the world's attention. A mysterious underwater pyramid. This isn't your ordinary submerged treasure. It's a remarkable structure meticulously crafted with precise geometric dimensions, standing tall at about 200 feet and sprawling across an astonishing 86,000 square feet. Can you understand the magnitude of such an architectural marvel concealed beneath the waves for so long? Speculation ran wild after it was uncovered that this underwater giant has been submerged for an incredible 20,000 years. Divers and researchers who approached the structure described an eerie silence surrounding it, as if the ocean itself was guarding its secrets. Sonar scans revealed sharp angles and flat surfaces that seemed almost too precise to be entirely natural. Some expedition teams reported strange magnetic readings in the area, adding another layer of mystery to the site. As footage of the structure began circulating online, theories quickly spread across the globe, ranging from lost civilizations to advanced prehistoric engineering. A few explorers even claimed that certain sections appeared to resemble steps or platforms, fueling the idea that it may have once been accessible above sea level. Each new dive seemed to raise more questions than answers, leaving scientists and enthusiasts equally divided on its origin. If true, it opens the door to the thrilling possibility of an advanced human civilization having constructed this majestic edifice. It's the kind of tale that legends revolve from. But hold on, there's a twist. Some experts argue that due to the Azores' volcanic activity, Mother Nature might be the true artist behind this pyramid's creation. They suggest that intense volcanic forces could have naturally sculpted this awe-inspiring structure. Whether the product of ancient civilization's ingenuity or nature's handiwork, this submerged wonder has sparked a burst of excitement. So where do you place your bet? A relic from a forgotten era, or a masterpiece sculpted by the forces of nature? Number 1. The unique sleeping habits of whales. Whales, the largest creatures in the sea, are truly fascinating beings on our planet. Imagine diving into the ocean and encountering these immense animals peacefully dozing with their heads pointed toward the water's surface. Unlike animals on land, whales have to be cautious when they sleep because they can't afford to plunge into a deep slumber and risk drowning. Instead, they've developed a unique way of resting to ensure they can still breathe while being partially awake. In the quiet depths of the ocean, this behavior creates an almost surreal scene where massive bodies remain suspended in stillness. Divers who have witnessed this describe it as encountering something almost otherworldly, as if time itself has slowed down. The whales drift gently, barely moving, yet never completely losing awareness of their surroundings. Sometimes, entire groups can be seen resting together, maintaining a loose formation while they sleep. Calves often stay close to their mothers during these moments, instinctively following their movements even in a semi-conscious state. This delicate balance between rest and awareness highlights just how finely tuned whales are to their environment. Whales sleep vertically, keeping one eye open and taking turns resting each side of their brain. This allows them to stay aware of their surroundings and maintain vital functions like swimming and breathing. When they need air, they gently rise to the surface and float just below it, remaining semi-conscious. This sleeping posture lets them rest their brain while ensuring they can easily access air. Unlike most mammals that need complete sleep cycles, whales can rest each hemisphere of their brain independently. This helps them stay alert to potential threats like predators or obstacles even while resting. Witnessing these majestic creatures sleeping with their heads towards the surface is one of the most captivating sights you can behold in the ocean. Which of these chilling discoveries hidden beneath the ocean did you find most intriguing? Let us know your answer in the comments section. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.